See,
Okay, so ready?
Yep.
Welcome to our third in our series of town halls. And today the focus is going to be on registration and all things spring 2021. Today the focus is on, as I said, registration, and we do have some of our chairs and directors here, as well as Director of Advising, Ms. Stacy Shapin. Before we get started, I'd like to just introduce who is here and understand that we will be having other chairs and directors popping in, as well as our Dean, Nancy Usher, who will be arriving a little bit later on. We'll start with who I see first, which is Dr. Ashley Stone, our Director of Recruitment. And alongside her, I see Dr. Heather Addison, our Chair of Film, Louis Kavoris, our Chair of Dance, Sue Mueller, our Director of the School of Music, Norma Saldivar, our Chair. Did I say it right this time, Norma, or did I butcher it again?
Oh, Saldivar.
Saldivar. Gosh dang it, Saldivar. Our Chair of Theater, Danny Ortega, our Director of School of Architecture, and Marcus Sivan, our Chair of School of the Department of Art. And I think that's everybody. Did I miss anybody? I think I got everyone. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to hand it over to Stacy, who has a presentation she would like to give us about advising and what's happening this spring. Stacy, it's all you.
Great. Welcome, everyone. It's a pleasure to have you all here today. I'm just going to run through some important deadlines, things you need to know about registration, how to get an advising appointment, how to craft an email to get the quickest response either from your advisor or from any faculty that you're reaching out to. So hopefully we'll have a few tips and tricks for you today, and then we will open it up to any questions that people might have. So the first thing I want to go through is to let you know there have been some questions about how classes are going to be offered again for the spring semester. And it's what I have been told is the classes will be very similar to how they are offered this fall semester, in that the ratio is going to be about 80-20 or 75-25 remote percentage, remote versus in-person classes. So it's going to look very similar to the way it is this semester. This will be for all students in general. Gabriel, thank you. So yeah, that's what we're looking at there. And then enrollment for your spring classes will begin on November 2nd, Monday, November 2nd, which is a week from yesterday. There will be a schedule that is put together for all students to enroll in their classes. Please make sure you take advantage of your priority enrollment dates. This allows you to register before any incoming students, and depending on the number of credits that you have earned, it will also allow you to register prior to other current students as well. So starting on Monday, admitted graduates and professional development degrees will register first on Monday through Wednesday, November 4th. Seniors with 90 or more credits will start registration on Tuesday, November 3rd through Wednesday, November 4th. Juniors with 60 to 89 credits will be Friday, November 6th through Monday, November 9th. Sophomores with 30 to 59 credits will be Tuesday, November 10th through Wednesday, November 11th. And freshmen with 0 to 29 credits will be Thursday, November 12th through Friday, November 13th. So what this does is allow you to register at that time. Please be aware that there will be times assigned to you and with a specific date in that range that I've mentioned. You can find that in my UNLV. I'm going to share my screen with you to show you where you find this and let you know that there is also some tutorials on the registrar's office that will also have this information for where you can find it. And I am sharing that website in the chat so you can get to it later. The way you are going to find your priority enrollment date is you are going to log into my UNLV, which I am doing right now, and you don't need to see that part, but uh-oh. How do I share? Do I share a file, Ashley? Is that what I'm doing? No. How do I just share a screen?
You should be able to share like Google Chrome or whichever browser you are using.
I get share file or new whiteboard. That's all I have.
Hold, please.
Okay. Oh.
Try again.
There we go. All right. Okay, so when you log on to your student homepage, you're going to see this screen here. If you click on this little navigator bar here, it's going to pull open your nav bar here. You want to click navigator, and then you want self-service, enrollment dates. And that will take you to this. Right now you're viewing me, and since I don't have access to enroll, it won't be there. But you will have an assigned date and time listed here that will allow you to enroll. If you try and enroll before that time is available, you will get an error message that says you do not have a valid enrollment appointment. And then you'll be confused because you'll be registering on the date that it says and you can't, and it's because you're trying to do it too early based on the time. So make sure you check that. Let's see, what else do I want to share with you? Oh, so this starts, priority enrollment starts on the 2nd. Like I said, you will have a date and time assigned to you. You do not need to see an advisor on the day that you have an enrollment appointment. It would be better if you are able to see an advisor ahead of time, but we are very booked right now. We are booked out through the end of the 16th of November in some cases. So please contact the advising center. I'm going to put that information in here as well. You can contact us by phone at this phone number. That's our front desk phone number, or by email to request an appointment with your advisor. And we can set up an appointment with you to meet with an advisor to go over your schedule for spring.
And Stacy, for the sake of the recording, would you say those out loud?
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. I forgot I'm recording. So the phone number is 702-895-5390. And the email is cfaadvising@unlv.edu. So you can go in and set up an appointment with your advisor. We ask that you please be patient because there are a lot of you and you outnumber us a lot. We are working hard to get to you, but it might take some time. What I would recommend is if you are not able to get an appointment with an advisor immediately, that you use the tools that are available to you, either your degree sheet, your four-year plan, your advisor, or your oh my gosh, your academic requirements that are in my UNLV. All of those things are tools that will help you pick classes. You can choose classes. Your shopping cart is available now. You can go in and put classes in your shopping cart, and when it is time for your enrollment, you can go in and finish that enrollment process. If you don't register for the right classes right away, don't be concerned. Meet with your advisor and we can help adjust anything that isn't correct. You have until the day before Martin Luther King weekend in January to make payments and to finalize your schedule. So you have a lot of time in between before it becomes a thing. Earlier is easier, so make sure you do this as early as you can, but please make the selections as best you can and then meet with an advisor if you can't get in ahead of time. One of the things I would like to share with you now is a little presentation about how to craft an email that will get you the quickest rapid response for advising. So please be clear and detailed with what you are submitting. When you email your advisor, please explain your concern or your issue with specific and clear details. Because if your advisor doesn't understand what it is you're asking, they're going to have to reply back to you to get more clarification before they can address the problem. This is going to delay your resolution. If you're asking about classes, course numbers, and sections are important. So make sure you're clarifying when you need to sign up for something. If you're asking a question about a specific class, make sure you're saying this class and section number rather than just, oh, my voice lessons or that film class that Heather teaches or whatever, because we don't know that. And so anything that you put into your request that requires your advisor to do more research is taking more time away from us being able to reply back to you. Make sure, please, that you identify yourself. Use your full name and your student number, your student ID number in your email so we can find you. And if you want to be contacted by phone, please make sure you put in good contact phone information, and then you got to answer your phone. So if you get if you get a phone call from a 702-895 number, please make sure you answer it, because if we have to leave you a voicemail, that's going to delay you again. Please always send from your Rebel Mail address and include your name and ID number. Also, check your Rebel Mail daily, because that's where we have to reply to you. Legally, that's what we need to reply back to. So if your advisor has more questions, they're going to reply to your email, and you want to be able to respond quickly to avoid your further delays. Please email only once. I know it's challenging, especially right now when you can't meet with someone in person, that you want to reply back right away. Please give your advisor, especially during busy times like right now, up to 5 business days before resending an email to them. It may just take some time. Right now, all of our advisors are in appointments all day long. I've been sitting at this computer in meetings and working with students since 8:30 this morning. So getting an email back to you might take a little time, because we don't have the ability to just sit and send an email because we're working with people. Please resist emailing multiple advisors in hopes of getting a quicker answer. I know this is tempting because you might get something from somebody else, but that somebody else might not be familiar with your situation. And the more people that you include, there could result in confusion and inaccurate information unintentionally. So please just bear with us. If you do not get a response from your advisor after 5 business days, please reach out to me. My email is there, stacy.shapin@unlv.edu, or to CFA Advising, and our front desk can get that sent to the correct person, and we can follow up and make sure you get a response. Please be concise. If at all possible, please try and ask all of your questions in one email, because multiple emails are going to backlog your advisor and it makes it more difficult to manage replies. I know email tries to be it feels kind of like a chat feature, but it doesn't quite work that way. And so as we continue to get more emails, it's harder to reply. But obviously, if you're getting information you don't understand, or if you think of something you didn't ask before, please absolutely send another email and follow up. We will do that and work with you. But if you can be more concise, that's going to get you quicker answers. And please be patient. You all are important to us. I promise, we are not ignoring you on purpose. We're not ignoring you at all. It just might take some time to get to you. So give us a chance to do that. If you are having personal issues that require some time-sensitive immediacy that need to be resolved for your safety, your security, anything to do with your finances or your health, please put the word urgent in your subject matter, and we will have somebody call you back immediately. We will get back to you the same day. We don't want to let that go. So if there is something personal going on that you need immediate help with, let us know that, and we will reach out to you that same day. And for those of you who are waiting, I know that that's a tricky thing, and we definitely want to prioritize all of you, but sometimes those urgent matters tend to take priority, and I hope that you will give graciously of your time for your peers that might be experiencing some issues that need immediate assistance. There was a question that got submitted earlier through the form that was, are in-person appointments going to be available next semester? As of right now, no, it will continue to be remote. You can have virtual appointments, and we are available virtually, by phone, by email, and you can email your advisor and we will get back to you. If you want to make an appointment, it is better to contact our main office phone or our general email, or use the online scheduling option. It's going to be faster for you that way. If you directly email your advisor to request an appointment, your advisor might not get back to you right away, and that's going to delay that process. So reach out to our general phone or email, and someone will get back to you right away, because we have more eyes on that and are monitoring it more frequently. Here is our contact information. It is also available on our main advising page. You can get all of this information as well. So for those of you wondering, I'm the director. I do not have a slate of assigned majors, but I can see anybody as necessary and am available to do that. So if you're experiencing any problems with your advisors, if you're experiencing anything that you need immediate assistance about, you can contact me. I am available. Christy Berthelot is our assistant director. She's currently out on some extended medical leave, but she will be back in on the 9th. She advises graphic design majors and our dance majors. In the interim, I am advising graphic design, and Rochelle Walker, our senior advisor, is advising dance, along with her main majors, which are music and theater. Leanne Carr is our RPC coordinator, and she advises our architecture majors. Milana Hudson is our film and studio art advisor, and Ryan Ziegler is our first year advisor for all majors who are in their first year in college at UNLV. So if you're a transfer student, you're going to meet with the major assigned advisor. If you're a brand new student to UNLV this fall, Ryan is your advisor for the spring semester. That is it for the email information. Are there questions about that? I think I saw one. Hold on. Oh, Gabriel, in answer to your question, I'm getting it privately. You are assigned an advisor based on your major. So there are six advisors for the College of Fine Arts, and all of those students are assigned by the major that you are earning. The business advisor is in the Lee Business School. So if you have a second major, if you have a minor in another discipline, you will need to reach out to the advising center for the college that houses your second degree or your minor if it is not within the College of Fine Arts, and they can assist you there. Couple of other things. One other thing I'm going to share again. I have a short video that I want to show you about how to...
Within My UNLV, oops, you can locate where and when.
All right, pause. I want to show you how to view... Okay, so Gabriel, if business is your major, you're definitely welcome to stay. We're happy to have you here. And I'm happy to share with you all of the registration stuff. But however, just be aware that this registration information, while it pertains to all university information, there could be things that are specific to us that are not going to be specific to the business advising major. So just be aware that you're more than welcome to be here. I'm happy to have you. When you are looking at your schedule, what I want you to know is how you can differentiate between classes that are in person versus online versus remote, but they're synchronous versus asynchronous classes. So this is a little video that's going to show you that. I think, no, there's no sound, correct, on the videos?
Yes, for WebEx events, there are no sounds.
No sound. Okay. So I'm going to try and talk you through this as it goes. So sorry.
Within My UNLV, so you can locate where and when your classes
you're going to find
while you're in your student
My UNLV.
Actually, Stacy, we can hear through your microphone.
Oh,
so.
Good. Okay. Is it loud enough?
I think so.
If you click on the enrollment tile, you will view your classes. If you get out of this page, you can always click the first tab, View My Classes, to get back to your full class list. While here, please locate the room section. This is where you find where your class is. It will either show a building number, remote learning, or web-based. You can also check the days and time section to find when your class is. It will either show to be announced or weekdays and times. There are 4 types of classes to enroll in. We'll scroll through those types now. For starters, some classes are asynchronous remote learning. These are fully online and a student would not need to log in at a specific time. The room will say remote learning and the days and times will remain as to be announced. Next up, we have on-campus courses. These are in-person classes that you must attend on campus at the indicated day and time. The room will show a building abbreviation and a room number. Under days and times, you will locate when and what time you meet on campus. Third, we have synchronous remote learning. These courses are fully online, but they do require that students log in at the indicated day and time. The room will say remote learning and the days and times will show the weekday and times that you should plan to be online for your course. For web-based, these are courses that are fully online and do not have a specified day and time. The room will say web-based and the days and times will remain to be announced. Thank you, and we wish you the best this semester.
All right, so hopefully that will give you some idea of what to look for when you're signing up for classes and will be useful in explaining what it is that you have to do when you sign up for classes and scheduling them. A couple more things I just want you to be aware of. Monday, November 2nd is the deadline to drop classes. So if you're enrolled in something now that you intend to drop, Monday next week is the last day to do that. If you miss that deadline, you will be earning a grade for the class that you're enrolled in. Something I do want to let you know about is the audit versus drop feature. If you drop a class, what will happen is you will receive a W on your transcript, and that will impact your financial aid satisfactory academic progress. The W counts against you in your completion rate. And if your completion rate falls below 70%, you can be in danger of losing your financial aid. If you audit a class, auditing means you've paid for a seat in the class, but you've agreed to not be graded on it. So this allows you to continue to attend the class if you choose to do that, and it does not count against you in your completion rate. So you still have to complete at least 12 or more credits if you are funded that way for financial aid, but it will not impact your completion rate to fall below 70%. So if you had 15 classes and you audited one of them, you're still completing a full-time load and you're completing it at 100%, even though you've audited one of the classes. So if you have more questions about that, you can definitely talk with your advisor, but always, always audit rather than drop at this point in time, because you pay for the class no matter what, and the audit is always in your favor as the student rather than dropping. So just bear that in mind, and then if you have other questions about what the audit means, you can ask your advisor. Financial aid. If you receive financial aid, next year's financial aid application priority deadline is Sunday, this coming Sunday, November 1st. What this means is if you get that in by that deadline, you are eligible to receive all of the aid that you are eligible to get. If you complete that form after that deadline, what will end up happening is you may not receive all of the aid that you are qualified to get, because UNLV has a limited amount of money that they can distribute to students. And that priority deadline means that everybody that submitted their financial aid application by that deadline is eligible to receive all of the aid that they qualify for. You can also find more information about that on the financial aid website, and that is this one. Oops. Oh, I better look it up just to make sure I'm not giving you the wrong one. Anyway, that is it for the little presentation that I have. I'm going to open up the last half an hour to questions. And Julie, I know that we received some questions ahead of time. I don't know if we want to refer to those. Anyone that's here watching the presentation, you are more than welcome to submit questions in the chat or in the Q&A, and we can answer those while we're here.
And maybe while they are gathering their thoughts and submitting their questions, we'll get to the couple of questions that we had. But I did want to take an opportunity to introduce Dean Nancy Usher, who very quietly popped in the middle of your presentation. Dean Usher, would you like to say hello to our students who are here this afternoon? Your mute is on, Dean Usher.
First, thank you, Julie. First of all, I want to apologize for being late. I had a conflict that I couldn't change. So I knew that I would have to be about 20 minutes late, and I regret that because you, all of you students, are the reason why we're here. We care so very much about you and about your progress and about assigning value through the education, value to your lives through the education you have in our wonderful college. So I want to thank all the people that made this town hall possible. We are planning to have one each month, and we are all here to help you and to help your families and to make your pathways smoother as college students. We believe there's never been a more important time for you to go to college. And we think that your lives will be just illuminated by it. And many of you are practicing artists, performing visual, film, architects, and more. And we're thrilled about your work. We're so fortunate to have you as part of our college, and we want you to know how much you mean to us. I just want to say, when I hear some of the daunting processes you have to go through, including filling out financial aid forms. Oh my gosh, I have to tell a story. I was once at a big university, and there was someone who was like the vice president in charge of all financial issues, and her child was about to go to that university, and she talked about staying up all night. She said, I'm the chief financial officer and the vice president for finances at this university, and I had to stay up all night to figure out how to fill out these darn forms. So I think they might have gotten a little bit more streamlined over the years, but I just want to say some of what you're asked to do is not easy. And I'm really pleased that you're getting guidance today about where to look and where you and your families can get some help. But I also want to encourage you, and I'm sure you've been encouraged way before I got here today, to reach out and let us know if you're stumped or if something is just not working and you really, really want to make sure that you fill out the forms by this weekend. Reach out to us. Maybe someone can actually sit with you virtually and walk you through a form if it takes that, because it is terribly important for you to get all the aid that you deserve, to be an early bird, to be one of the earliest people to fill out the forms. So I just want to say thank you for being here. Thank you for being at UNLV. You help our college be everything it can be by being here. And I am really sorry when things get terribly bureaucratic and difficult. I am sorry about that, but it's going to be worth it. Thank you.
Thank you, Dean Usher. We did get a couple. Do we have any questions from our guests at the moment? Or shall we jump into these questions?
I could ask a question.
Okay.
So Stacy, could you maybe show us what it looks like to students when they're choosing audit over drop or over withdraw? I'd like to see what that looks like, if that's possible. I don't know if you're able to show us.
I can try. I don't have the same views that students have, but I can at least show you where to get to it. Before I do, though, I do see that there is a question that has come up.
Oh, question. Okay.
The question is, I did my financial aid registration last year. Do I need to do it again? Yes, that is something you have to renew every year that you intend to receive financial aid. So yes, please do that again.
If I can add to that?
Yes.
It's much easier the second year. Because you get to transfer all of your information over and update it. So it becomes a much simpler process. If you've saved your PIN number, it becomes much easier every year. You're just updating, and you don't have to wait for the tax returns and all of that kind of stuff. So do it immediately. But yeah, every year, same time, just fill it out again. You're just basically updating your information as long as nothing major has changed. And if there's ever a change in circumstances, you can go into your FAFSA and file a change in circumstances. So given this pandemic, if there's been major changes with your family and your financial situation, you can also go in and update that as well. So pay very close attention to the directions on the FAFSA this year, and take note of all of that. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so back to Heather's question. I will share my screen again, and I'll show you what you can see in, let me see if I can make this bigger.
And so you're saying it's always better for students to do audit rather than withdraw or drop the class, because then it does not impact their completion rate.
Correct. So and that sort of take with a grain of salt. If it's prior to the drop deadline, which is the end of the first week of classes, it is always better to drop because
right. Because then you're not going to pay. But once you're paying for the class, is your point, then it's better to do.
Always better to audit than drop. Yes. So what you're going to do is you log in to my UNLV and you click the enrollment tab. And once you're in the enrollment tab, you're going to click the link for change class to audit. What it will do is it will pull up a list of classes for your schedule. So you're going to want to make sure you're logging into the correct term, and then you continue, and then it's going to pull up your schedule. And what it will show you are the classes that are eligible to change to an audit, and then any that might not be. So if you are taking a class that is a modular class, which means it's not scheduled within the regular scheduled times, it may be ineligible for you to change to an audit. But anything that shows eligible, you can audit that class. So what you'll do is you'll click the audit button for whatever class is there that you're wanting to audit. So this one explains, because it's modular, this hasn't begun yet. So you can audit a class beginning after the first day of classes if it starts later than the regular time. Unless the deadline has already passed. That's an also one there. But this one you can audit. So it's going to show you how to do that. You're going to click audit the class. And then there'll be a checkbox that you'll need to indicate that you understand all of these pieces of information about auditing. And then you change the selected class to audit. What that will do then is change it to a grading basis of audit. And when you see your transcript, it's going to show up with a grade of AD. That means you've audited that class. And that's it. You are done. Be aware that if you make this decision, you can't change it back. It's a one-time deal, and once you've changed it to audit, it's done. You've audited the class. But it's always in your benefit after the drop deadline to be able to do that.
Is it, and what if it's a class that the student needs a specific grade in for their major? Are there implications that way?
So if you audit a class, you're going to have to repeat it. It's just as if you were to drop it and you haven't completed that requirement.
Okay.
So auditing is the same outcome as dropping. It's just to your advantage as far as the ramifications to your financial aid and to some other things down the road that we don't need to get into today.
The nice thing about auditing is that if you're struggling in the class, and that's the reason why you want to drop it, is that you can continue to attend the class. And it's almost like you get to practice without any penalty. So if it's a math class, for example, and you're really struggling and you know you're going to fail it, you don't want to take the hit on your GPA, so you withdraw. You can audit it, keep going. And then when you have to repeat it, you've had the benefit of sitting through it once. And so now when you retake it for the grade, there's no hit to your GPA and there's no hit to your completion rate. So auditing it is actually very beneficial rather than just withdrawing from it and not attending again. You've paid for the seat, you get to stay in it for the rest of the semester and learn everything that you can. And then when you have to repeat it, you've already sat through it, you know, especially if it's a subject matter that you struggle in.
Thank you, everybody. I appreciate that assistance. Louis, you said you have a question that a student of yours asked about?
I have a student that recently asked if there was any discussion, like last semester, where students were given the option to just have a pass or a fail for the class, or a satisfactory, unsatisfactory. And I know that there are also situations right now, like if a student needs I forget the term they're using right now, like needs some special there's a word that they're using and that's not coming to special accommodations right now. Thank you, Julie. Right now. So has there been any discussion about the satisfactory, unsatisfactory, or are we just sort of normal grades as usual, but with special accommodations?
It is, at this point, we have been told that there will not be the SU grading option for this coming semester. So it is in effect for the previous spring and summer, but for this semester, it will be regular grading as it has been before. If people need special accommodations based on COVID or things like that, we have been directed to have those students reach out to the Disability Resource Center, and that website is www.unlv.edu/DRC for Disability Resource Center. They can assist with making those evaluations. The other thing, if students are needing help with anything, let me make sure I have this website right.
Julie, I'm sorry, Stacy.
Yes.
This is Norma. I'm sorry to jump in, but I recently had a conversation with the Office of the Provost regarding the very thing you're talking about. And they've directed, if it's a short-term accommodation, say someone has an illness or has tested positive and been directed to stay home for quarantine, they should fill out the form and approach the Office of the Provost Student Affairs. If it looks like it's going to turn into a longer accommodation, then as you mentioned, they should go to the DRC. And this just came up this past week in my investigation. So I just wanted to share that with you.
Thank you, Norma. And that is accurate, yes. But if you can't remember all that, you don't know who to reach out to, you can just contact the DRC and they will get you to where you need to go. They can help you with that. Norma, I appreciate you saying that information as well, because that's important to know.
That leads.
Can I just jump in it one more time? Sorry to keep jumping in. I apologize. But one of the things that I think is really important for students to understand, that if they do test positive and they do go to the COVID page and file their report, getting short-term accommodations is really the best way to protect themselves. And as far as their grades are concerned, it means that the instructors and the chairs of the department will work with them to make sure that their attendance and any kind of assignments are modified to ensure that they are remaining in good status. So I just want to make sure that we emphasize that.
Wonderful. Thank you, Norma. Yes, that's important also to make sure we know.
And that segues into a question perfectly, actually, into one of the questions that we got sent into us earlier. And Norma, this might be actually for you. Will there be an option for high-risk students to take their theater classes online in the spring? And if so, how do they go about arranging for that?
That's an excellent question. Yes, we will have it. Specifically, we have accommodated a number of students who have had that request. We can do several things. One is that we can waive requirements for graduation, so that if someone needs, let's say, a voice class or a movement class, and they are high risk and feel that they can't attend that class, we can rearrange their requirements so that they can take something that would substitute that. That would keep them online and safe. Otherwise, we can waive that requirement. There will be sections that we think that we can work with them to assign them to take, rather than feeling sort of in a corner about how to graduate with their requirements. The person to talk to would be Rochelle. Stacy's mentioned Rochelle several times. She is the theater advisor works very closely with Shannon Sumter, who is our undergraduate coordinator in the department, and with myself. So what happens is if there's a conversation with Rochelle, please copy Shannon and myself, and then we will work with the area heads for performance and for design tech and for general studies to make those accommodations.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
The next question, and this is actually for music, Sue. The other question we had was, will students be allowed to have more than one person in the practice rooms come spring?
No, we cannot allow that. There's no way we could monitor it. Our practice rooms are extremely small. They're poorly ventilated, and they have doors, and there is not 6 feet between two people in our practice rooms. So if there is a rehearsal situation where you have to have your accompanist play with you, your accompanist can reach out to me and we can schedule that practice in a larger space. I hope that helps.
Thank you. Those are the only questions that we had mailed in. The other ones, Stacy, you managed to answer all of them in your fabulous presentation.
I do want to mention one other resource that is available. If you are experiencing issues that you don't know what else to do, or you don't know who to talk to, you can reach out to this website on the university homepage. It's www.unlv.edu/students/help. And what this is a form that you can fill out to request whatever help you need, or if you've got questions that you can't get answered, or you don't know who to turn to, or whatever, you can go to that website. It is monitored by the Office of Student Affairs, and they will route your question to whatever department on campus can help you solve that or get an answer. So if you don't know anyone else to talk to or where to turn, you can use that website and fill out the form, and someone will answer your question for you.
I'd like to thank you, Stacy. I'd like to give our chairs and directors, if they have anything they'd like to add for today. Any last minute bits of advice or things that they feel they need to address?
Well, everyone, I've prepared a 15-minute speech. Is everyone ready? I just wanted to say, for anyone who wants to contact me, you can email me, heather.addison@UNLV, but you can also feel free to text or call me on my cell. And I'm going to put that in the chat right now. So reach out if you have any questions about your film classes for spring of 2021.
Thank you, Heather. Anyone else?
I think all of the chairs and directors are totally willing to receive any communication for whatever reason. And so just go ahead and ask us anything, and we're very flexible and resourceful, and problem solving is our game.
Agreed.
Thank you. Any final words before we wrap this up?
Just one quick thing that I mentioned, and I forgot I was going to mention. Any music students, as of right this moment, the music schedule is incomplete, and we are working on getting that resolved as quickly as we can with the registrar and scheduling. Please be patient. It will be there. And my best suggestion is you just check regularly to see if those classes have been updated or not. And we are going to be working on getting that viewable as soon as absolutely possible.
Yes, and so just because you can't see the class, don't assume that it's not being offered, okay? And if you have questions as to whether it's being offered, please just reach out to Stacy or Rochelle or me, and because we do have a list and we do know what's going to be offered. Right now, they are called inactive for some reason, and they are fixing the problem, so be patient.
Fantastic. Okay, well, thank you all for joining us this afternoon. Our next town hall will be November 18th. So if you have any questions between now and then, feel free to reach out to any of us. Otherwise, plan on joining us at 4 o'clock on November 18th. Want to thank all of our chairs and directors and Ashley Stone, Stacy, and of course, Dean Usher for joining us this afternoon. Stay safe and good luck with the next few weeks. Thank you all.
Thank you, Julie, and thank you all for being here. Have a wonderful rest of the semester, everyone.
And enjoy Friday, Nevada Day.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.